Mid-South Peace and Justice Center, and this is Blightwatch. We're at 395 Boston here in the Beltline neighborhood, and run into a really strange case here. This property, which was formerly owned by a real estate developer, is now owned by Homecoming Financial. They owe $3,035.99 in unpaid taxes. But more than that, this place is the source of a lot of problems in the neighborhood. Neighbors we spoke to talked about rat infestation, snakes coming from this property. Despite numerous complaints to code enforcement, nothing's being done. In fact, one neighbor I spoke to said, according to code enforcement, that this property shouldn't be here, which we thought was very strange. But as you can see, trash right here in the yard. One person in the neighborhood referred to it as, like a rat paradise. And so this is what people have to live with in these neighborhoods on a day-to-day basis. Hard enough just keeping their own homes in order, but have to deal with a high rate of infestation. So we're going to get to the bottom of this. We are working with folks in the neighborhood, looking to reach out to the CDCs and neighborhood associations about finding out some answers. But we're going to talk to code enforcement today in particular about this property. I have a family right next door with a very small child. I've complained about rats and lizards coming off of this property onto theirs, and it doesn't have to be that way. And we wouldn't tolerate this in other parts of the city. So there's no reason why we should tolerate it here in Beltline. Also, while we're on the subject, just looking up the street a little bit, I see a familiar sight. Yet another archway and white picket fence surrounding a vacant bank-owned property. As I said before, a lot of these properties, not all, but a lot of these properties were owned by an individual named Charles Alexander. And you'll find these properties all over the city in working class neighborhoods, and all in the same horrible state of disrepair. In a city like ours, where we have such a problem with affordable housing, and we have so much housing stock just going to waste, disintegrating our neighborhoods, it seems very strange to me that we can't find a way of turning around these properties and creating some affordable housing for people. But if you see here, you got a toilet outside crashed here on the driveway. Who would want to live next to this? They say I believe some folks in the neighborhood finally got tired of it and cut the grass, but they're opening themselves up to actually be sued for trespassing on this property. But that looks like the folks in the neighborhood had enough and did that. But it's a lot to ask of people to do that. It's a lot to ask the people to live next to it. And we know that if this were in another neighborhood, that they would get a lot prompter attention from their city. So we're going to work with these folks in the neighborhoods and these other neighborhoods, and we're going to show them that no matter what part of the city you live in, you have a lot of the same problems, and a lot of the same people are causing these problems in a lot of these different neighborhoods. It's time for working class people in these neighborhoods to rediscover their own power, and we're going to help be a part of that. We'd like for you to be a part of that as well.